Welcome. Recently, I came across an article by Shri Shanmugam in this book, The Astro Secrets. And this article is about the Lagna Lord and its importance in Krishnamurti Paddhati. This article caught my attention for various reasons, but let me first read a few lines from this article. The author says that the Lagna Lord forms the very foundation to tell about longevity, health, success, or failure, whether his earnings will be from his birthplace or abroad, and so on. And then basically he says that the uh, the the Lagna Lord strength need to be evaluated right at the beginning to assess the overall strength of the horoscope. So he has divided these strength of the Lagna Lord into four categories. What are those? A very strong, mid-level, weak and very weak. And the rule for assessing whether the Lagna Lord falls into the category 1 or 4 is this. I am just giving one rule. So the rule number 1. A very strong level of the Lagna Lord means the Lagna Lord should occupy any one of the houses 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 4 and should be in the stars of Lord of House 2, 10, 11. So basically it is saying that if the Lagna Lord is the significator of the house 2, 10 or 11, then the chart becomes very powerful from all angles and it's going to give success from every angle. This is a very amusing kind of uh, assessment for me, and because this could be true. I mean, the Lagna Lord or the Lagna being strong could be true for the horary chart, but in KP natal, the the golden rule for successful horoscope is not dependent on Lagna or even the Lagna Lord. It's a very different kind of a KP rule that you have to apply to see if a horoscope is really strong or weak or mid level and so on. That golden rule we'll discuss in a while. But this particular assessment from the author, that if the Lagna Lord is the significator of 2, 10, 11, then the horoscope is A grade. If the Lagna Lord is the significator of the bad houses, let's say 5, 8, 12, then this is a weak horoscope and a person is bound to fail. But in real life, we don't see these kind of a thing. We see all kind of people failing in life or becoming successful in life. Good people, bad people, morally corrupt people or upright people, people who are stricken with some disease or people who have a very good health condition. It doesn't really matter. It is not dependent on the Lagna or the Lagna Lord. The criteria is totally different. So for this reason, I thought that these kind of articles, they tend to mislead a little bit about the rules in the KP framework. So let me discuss what exactly the Lagna and the Lagna Rod's role is in the Krishnamurti Paddhati. But for the time being, I would say that these kind of rules, where you should be kind of cautious about these rules because they tend to divert you to something that's not has been discussed or proposed by Krishnamurti. So let's see what the Lagna Lord and the Lagnesh and the ascendant, the role of the ascendant or the Lagnas in the Krishnamurti Paddhati. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is that change this title, and I would write Lagna and the Lagna Lord in KP. That is the appropriate title. There is no really importance or important significance or some extraordinary significance given to the Lagna Lord or the Lagna in KP. So we'll just make this title as Lagna Lord and the Lagna in KP. And now let's look at what exactly do we do with the Lagna Lord and the Lagna in KP. What role they play, what is their significance. Now the first thing is that the Lagna Lord, when it signifies certain houses, then it adds certain value to a person's personality or the character sketch. So let's look at all the 12 houses and see if the Lagna Lord signifies each of these houses, what happens. So when the Lagna Lord signifies the first house, when I say first house, it means the first cusp. So when it signifies the first cusp, the person is very cautious about his or her image in the public life, and he or she will do whatever it takes to be upright and be in the good books of the society. So that is what happens when the Lagna Lord signifies the first cusp. When the Lagna Lord signifies the second cusp, then that person has a very keen interest in finances or matters related to money, and he would always be planning about how to earn more wealth, and he or she would have a good understanding, also a good aptitude for managing finances. Third cusp, the person would be interested in corresponding, communication, writing, short travel, these kind of things which are denoted by the third house. When the Lagna Lord signifies the fourth cusp, then the person is very much attached to his or her family, and he would be also fond of his or her mother and property, real estate, things that are shown by the fourth house. When the Lagna Lord signifies the fifth cusp, then the person is interested in speculation and entertainment and mantra siddhi, gambling, horse racing, those kind of stuff. Person who are interested in Bollywood and all that is where the Lagna Lord is strongly connected with the fifth cusp. The sixth cusp. When the Lagna Lord signifies the sixth cusp, then a person is very fond of giving his or her services. They like to work as a volunteer, they are fond of pets, and they are also fond of labor and poor class. When the Lagna Lord signifies the seventh cusp, then the person is fond of he is very outgoing, he or she is very outgoing, and they want to be in the company of the opposite sex. That is what seventh house indicates. When the Lagna Lord signifies the eighth cusp, then a person is fond of occult sciences, astrology, tarot reading, new age, those kind of stuff. Ninth cusp will give an aptitude for research and making long journeys and getting one who is fond of religious or spiritual organization. 10th cusp will make a person ambitious, somebody who wants to excel in life, somebody who wants to be visible in the public life, like politicians and all that, or the big executives, those kind of a person. 11th cusp means that the person will be fond of networking, clubs, friend circles. That is what 11th cusp indicates. 12th is when the person wants to live in a seclusion. He will be fond of long travel and usually tend to remain away from the home. So this is what happens generally, when the Lagna Lord signifies these 1 to 12 cusp. But this is a very theoretical kind of a thing. Obviously, the Lagna Lord is not going to signify one house. is going to signify multiple houses, and that is what the personality is all about. Each of us, we have some good side, some bad side, some ugly side to our personality, and that is because the Lagna Lord signifies multiple houses, and sometimes there is a contradiction. So now let's say, take an example. The let's say the Lord of the Lagna signifies 7 and 8. Okay, the Lagna Lord signifies 7 and 8 and is connected with Mars and Venus. So when we say connected with Mars and Venus, means the Lagna Lord is in the star of Mars or Venus, or in the sub of Mars and Venus. This will often make a person fond of the opposite sex. That is what Mars and Venus does, and especially its connection with the 7th and the 8th house. But let's assume that if the Lord of the Lagna also signifies 9th and the 10th house along with the 7 and 8, then what happens? The person will have this tendency of reaching out to the opposite sex, but at the same time that person would also be interested in being in the public life or becoming a politician. And so both things will happen. So you have to carefully study the Lagna Lord, and it might indicate so many things. All those things will add on to a person's likes and dislikes. So that is what the Lagna Lord usually does. I always make use of the Lagna Lord and the Lagna. I don't make use of the Cuspal Sublord of the Ascendant, because in one of my videos I pointed out that that's very risky in the birth chart or in the natal chart, where the Cuspal Sublord changes very fast. So it's more convenient and less risky to just make use of the Lagna Lord and the Lagnesh to the Lagna and the Lagnesh to make an assessment of the character sketch. So far it is about the Lagna Lord. And now let's come to the Lagna itself. Now the Lagna creates a handshaking with various other houses. Just like other houses, they create a handshaking among themselves to create a specific event within the Krishnamurti framework. Similarly, the ascendant or the Lagna, the first house or the first curse, it creates various kind of a combination, but the main is concerning the health and the disease. So let me show you a few. So 1 and 6. 1 and 6 will usually give a minor, kind of a disease, nothing to worry about. And but it is the 1, 6, 8 and 12. So when the Lagna has a handshaking with the 6th house, 8th house, or the 6th house, 12th house, or the 8th house and the 12th house, so then it creates some kind of a danger or risk to the health. And if 12th house is prominently in that handshaking, then even the hospitalization is expected. And this is usually, it happens during the Dasha, Bhukti or Antar of this particular combination. One or more planets might be involved, but this combination, the one has to be there, the ascendant has to be there when it comes to the health and the hospitalization and all that. So this is where the ascendant plays its role in being the main house related to the health. See, for example, if let's say there is a handshaking between the first, second, and the 6th house. Now the second house indicates the increase in the bank balance, and the 6th house increase some kind of a income of money or the receipt of money or even a bank loan. So 1, 2, 6 will mean both the things. It will also mean 1, 6, that means it will create some kind of a minor ailment for the person, and it will also give the result of 2, 6, which means at the same time person will also have some receipt or some increase in his bank account. And now when the ascendant is involved with the 5th and the 11th, then that is the time for a person to recover from any ailment. If that person is not having any ailment, then that is the period when a person feels very good about him or herself. That is what this 1, 5, 9, 11 combination does. It gives you that feel good feeling. And now if suppose the DBA period has both 1, 5, 11, which shows recovery from any ailment, and 6, 8 and 12, so that usually indicates, along with 1, it indicates hospitalization, all that, then both things will happen. A person will fall ill, and then because of the 1, 5, 11, immediately the recovery period will start. But if suppose the 5, 11 is weak compared to the 6, 8 and 12, then during that Antardasha you say, okay, there will be some kind of a treatment available. But during that particular bhukti or antar, that treatment might not be as effective, because the 6, 8, 12 combination of disease is stronger compared to the 5, 11. And when we say the stronger and weak, then I hope you know the 4 rules in the Krishnamurti Paddhati, how to assess the strength of the significator. So this is how the Lagna gets involved. Now sometimes many people, they just kind of get a fixation on these numbers 1, 6, 8 or 6, 8, 12 and all that. But it is a good idea to individually look at some kind of other relationship other than the numbers that are given by the software. So let me give you an example. Now when the 6th lord signifies the first house, it indicates too much of work pressure. See, normally we think that whenever we see the number 6 and 1, so we see this is the time for the person to fall sick or have some kind of a minor ailment. But when the first lord is signifying 6, then it means something. But and when the 6th lord is signifying the first house, then it indicates too much of work pressure, because that's what 6th house indicates. 6th house indicates drudgery. Similarly, when the Lagna lord signifies the 10th house, it indicates ambitions. It indicates that the person might be ambitious about reaching to the new heights in his or her career. But what happens when the 10th lord indicates the Lagna? Then what happens? It means that the person gets into a career that is going to bring some kind of a recognition or reward. So this reciprocal relationship, the Lagna lord indicating the 10th house, or the 10th lord indicating the first house. So you have to go beyond the numbers. Those are printed by the software application, and then only you will start developing some more insights into the relationship between all these houses. So this is how you have to look at the Lagna and the Lagna lord. And now let me recap that these 2 points only I will suggest to you, that consider both Lagna and lagnesh to study the personality traits which I discussed just now, and treat the Lagna or the Lagna lord just like any other house or the planet. There is no important significance given to the Lagna lord or the lagnesh within the Krishnamurti framework. And like in this particular article that we are discussing, where the author has mentioned that the Lagna lord alone can help a person reach dizzy heights of success, of fall into the depths of failure, it's not like that. The golden rule in KP is different. The golden rule is in KP is, let me write here the golden rule. This is the golden rule. The majority of the planet, when they are the significators of 2, 6, 10, 11 at the star level and also at the sub level, this is the golden rule in KP, and this is not going to fail. You might have read so many other golden rules about the cuspal sublord and or about the untenanted planets appearing at the cuspal sublord. But this particular rule will not fail you, and this will work in most of the horoscope. This works out well. if the majority of the planet signifies 2, 6, 10, 11 at the star level and the sub level, that person will have a reasonably good successful life. And it has nothing to do with the Lagna or the Lagna Lord. So Lagna has no special role here, and any person with this combination can be successful in the life. This is the golden rule that we need to remember. So that's all in this video. Thanks for watching.